Cannabis Common Sense, the show that tells the truth about marijuana and the politics behind its prohibition.
Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. Our show is a production of our nonprofit organization, the Hemp and Cannabis Foundation, or THCF, and our affiliated political committee, the Campaign for the Restoration and Regulation of Hemp, or CRRH. We have a great show for you tonight. Chief Greenbud is here with a couple of CDs that he's got out and some music we'll be going through and talking to him. And Madeline Martinez is here, back from legislative victories in killing Senate Bill 388, which would have curtailed our medical marijuana law. We'll talk about legislative updates here in Oregon and elsewhere pretty soon. Tim Pate's over there with Chief Greenbud too. How are you, Tim?
I am most excellent this week, Paul. How are you?
Very well, very well. And we'll be back in just a second after we bring you our infamous Dancing Cannabis Leaves.
Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow we're going to have the Global Cannabis March in Pioneer Square, and as special guests we've brought in from Tennessee, Chief Greenbud. Please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello, Mr. Officer, and how are you this evening? You say that you're smelling something you don't find very pleasing. Could it be the fact that I've been smoking weed? Yes, indeed. Yes, sir, Mr. Officer, I've got my hands behind me. Please don't use any more pepper spray. That last shot was blinding, I can't see. And it's really hard to breathe. I'm in custody. Oh, it's only a weed. 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 It's only a weed. Hello, Mom and Dad, it seems I've got a little problem. The policeman thinks I'm dealing and it's prison time he's talking. Could you please call an attorney just for me? I'm in need. Hey, public defender, when's my case going to trial? I couldn't make my bond and I've been in jail a while and lost my job. All for a quarter pound of pot, ain't that a crock? Oh, it's only a weed. 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 It's only a weed. Well, prison life is really hard. When they let us in the yard, there's a man named Bubba looking out for me. He says that I'm pretty cute, but I feel like I'm being used. There's just got to be a better way, 'cause I ain't gay. Hey, future employer man, there's something I must tell you. When you run all my numbers, well, you're gonna find my record. I did time. Having marijuana is a crime. I wish they'd have an open mind. It's not a crime. Oh, it's only a weed. 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 It's only a weed.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Very nice.
That's great.
Thank you so much. We're so excited to have you here for the
Good
March.
to be here.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you back again. So we'll be in the March tomorrow.
Yes.
Have a presentation there.
Yes.
And so for you out there that are looking for more entertaining music like that, he does have a couple CDs out there.
The new CD just came out this past week on Wednesday. So, and I'll
This
have
one?
them at the March. Yeah, that one. Number
That's the
2.
newest one here.
Tried to name them real easy.
Number 2, Chief Green Bud. Chief Green Bud 2.
Yes.
So, but your website's pretty easy to remember.
Chief
It's www.chiefgreenbud.com.
.com.
Excellent.
Green
Can you
Bud.
tell us a little bit about the awards you've won? I know you're humble, but
Well, last year I put out the first CD, it's Chief Green Bud CD, and I won Best Acoustic Song for a song called Marijuana Tennessee, and that was a Global Marijuana Music Award, the GMMAs. And I also won for Best Male Artist.
ooh,
And then in 2009, I was nominated for a High Times Doobie Award. So for Best New / Underground Artist.
all right, great,
So
excellent.
it's
And we've got you right here with us in
right
Portland.
here in Portland, Oregon.
Yes.
We'll have you back for our Hempstock Festival this year, I'm hoping.
I hope so.
All right.
Be back that's in August, right?
Ours is September 12th and 13th.
Okay.
September 12th and 13th. We'll be sure to get it on your calendar.
I will do
Talk
that
to you
immediately.
more about that tonight.
Well, welcome to Oregon.
Yeah, if you're out there and you have a question for us tonight, you can call us at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. I know, Madeline, today you were at the state capitol celebrating the 10-year anniversary of the implementation of Oregon's medical marijuana law. It was 10
Yes.
years ago today, in May 1st of 1999, that the medical marijuana law went into effect.
Yeah,
Yay.
the first card was issued to Janine Bloom.
Yeah.
And she was one of our patients that had MS, and she did a great job getting some press on it, and it was a really momentous event as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
The implementation of this law has been a real struggle as we've worked to do it. Really worked hard to continue and preserve it. At each legislative session, we are under attack by law enforcement, AOI, the Associated General Contractors, and quite a few Democratic representatives, which is really concerning to me, Paul. Now they've got a bill, and we've got to be ever vigilant if we want to keep this law intact. They've got a bill there where they want to create a state garden, which I'm all for because I think it's a great act of compassion.
As long as we're able to continue to grow our own.
Thank you. As long
But
as
their
they
new
don't...
proposal has a clause explicitly that says that it disallows personal patient gardens.
Exactly, and we're going to be bringing to you in the future, in next show, who you can contact. Representative Carolyn Tomei is one of the co-signers on that, and it's really concerning because we have quite a few Democrats that are saying, sure, let's trample on people's rights.
Right.
And
There's been
quite
talk
frankly,
of a $98 an ounce tax on medical marijuana patients. That just seems outrageous.
I think it's outrageous, and my
Yeah.
concern is that if we don't stay vigilant, we are going to lose our law
Right.
portions of it because now the state's looking for revenue.
I'll
But
tell you, I'm 100% in favor of taxing
Exactly.
adult consumption of marijuana. I would not mind having a $98 an ounce tax on adult sales of
please.
marijuana. There should not be a tax on a patient's medical marijuana. That should be subsidized, if anything, by adult paying, tax paying.
Sure,
I
I think
buyers,
so.
I would
And
think.
one of the reasons, the rationale for this legislation is that they want to make money, revenue, but there's over 300,000 cannabis consumers. There's only 23,000 patients right now.
Right.
So it makes more sense if you
It's
wanted
the time to tax and regulate
Exactly.
marijuana. I mean, there was just a poll last week saying that 56% of the people in California favor
Exactly.
adult marijuana taxing, legalizing, and regulating. So our time has finally come, or so it seems. We have a
Sounds
caller on the line. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello, caller. Nope.
lost them.
He's faded away. Well, if you have a
Call
call
back.
for us tonight, call us at 503-288-4448. 4448. That's 503-288-4448. And if you want information on medical marijuana, then call that 800 number there on your screen. It's 800-723-0188. The voice of God is speaking this.
Hello.
You are on the air.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Welcome.
So, I had a question for you guys.
Well, you've reached the right place now.
Right. Well, you see, I'm a medical card holder, and I have my medical going on, but I was just looking if you guys had a recommendation or just a better place for me to get some better stuff to grow.
Better strains, you mean?
Better strains, better quality.
That's the problem with the current system. Basically, you've got to get other patients to help you. That's the only legal way to do it in Oregon's current model. I mean, if you're in California, you could go to one of the stores and buy various clones and cuttings of various kinds of cannabis. You can do that through some of the dispensaries up in Washington State. But aside from California, Colorado, and Washington, no other state really has medical marijuana dispensaries currently.
Right, so they have none of that around here.
Right, now Oregon Normal has a meeting twice a month. The next one's coming up Saturday, May 9th. Not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Right.
And cardholder members of Oregon Normal, it's pretty easy to join if you're not a member. Then you can come to a year's worth of these meetings. They have them twice a month where patients trade strains and caregivers give out free clones to patients who don't have any. And some free medicine as well.
Wow, that fucking sounds great. Free medicine? Fuck,
Yeah.
I'll go anytime.
Yeah, well, just come down to 700 Northeast Deacon. It's going to be Saturday, May the 9th, and then what's the other one? May the 23rd?
23rd.
So May 9th or May 23rd. Once again, the address is 700 Northeast Deacon Street. That's just off of MLK and Deacon in the far northeast part of Portland. And
The doors open at 11 a.m.
Yeah, and they close
right.
at noon, so you have to be there between 11 a.m. and noon. If you're after noon, you won't be able to get in.
And you have to have an OMMP card that's valid and not expired,
Right.
and you have to have a
Right.
state ID or driver's license.
All right, sounds
All right.
good.
Thanks. Look forward to meeting you.
Hey, legalize, man.
Yeah.
That's what we're working
Yeah.
for.
Amen.
We certainly use some help. I'm looking forward to getting another version of our tax and regulate bill out there as soon as we're done dealing with this legislative session. I think things are looking brighter for that than ever before.
Exactly.
And so
I was asked by quite a few legislators today at the Capitol, why don't you do an initiative and just tax and regulate for us?
it's about
So
time.
it is
seems
about
like our time has come.
Well, let me just say, talking about the legislature, I picked up this 55% hemp, 45% cotton T-shirt at the Capitol gift shop.
So it's a hemp T-shirt, says Oregon on the front, but the back of it is really... Now this is a
the
hemp
best
T-shirt.
part, you folks.
Oregon.
If you can get a close-up of
A
this,
place to grow.
a great place to
A
grow.
great place to grow.
Isn't that rich?
That's excellent.
At our state capitol, they had a closeout sale. They're going to get long sleeves in September. I'm so excited. I'm going to be right there when they deliver them.
So you
Now we
gave
know where to
away
buy 'em.
200 muffins at the
gave-
Capitol building
Yes.
today in the Capitol Rotunda.
Yes, and the most amazing thing was that everybody who came by said, "Are they medicated?"
They wanted medicated.
Yeah, they wanted medicated. And I
wanted the
said,
one with more.
They're not. Winco wouldn't work with us. And they said, oh, man, I wanted a medicated one. It was amazing. I can't even tell you how many
Well,
people
if we can
did that.
pass the tax and regulate bill, maybe next year or the year after, we can give them a
Yeah,
medicated
that's
bill.
what we're saying.
There
We're
in the,
hoping
state
so.
capitol.
That's
That would be a
exactly
step in
it.
the right direction.
But, we need your help to make it happen, so get involved. Get involved.
We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hello, Paul. How you doing?
Very well. How are you?
I'm well. My name's Angelo. I'm from Denver, Colorado.
Well, welcome, Angelo. Are you
And I
watching
had a
this through
question
Ustream?
about the recipe for the capsules that you give out at your clinics.
Yeah. What about that?
Well, the bake time, being that I'm from Denver and we're a mile high out here.
I know.
I was wondering if that would change the bake time or temperature.
Not really. No. You just want to cook it at a low heat. What you're doing is you just want to strip off the carbon dioxide molecule, and that activates the medicine. And so you can do that at about 200 to 225 degrees. You don't have to do it very long. I would do it I would start at about 20 minutes, and if that seems like it's not working right, lower it down maybe if it seems that's excessive. But you don't want to vaporize off the active ingredients, and you can do that if you go above 225 degrees.
Okay, well, thank you very much. That answers my question.
Good, good. Hey, so did you see us through Ustream?
Yes, I'm watching you online currently right now.
All right, well, great.
I actually watched most of your shows on YouTube, though, just catching up when I learned about it about 2 months ago.
Right on.
I see. Well, great. We're glad to have you watch. That's good to know it's finally getting out there a bit.
Yeah, definitely. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate your work.
Thank you.
Good night.
You too.
Good luck with those capsules. A lot of patients who don't want to get high at all, or who don't like eating high caloric foods or something, we'll make capsules out of cannabis, and we give out a recipe to make them out of bud with coconut oil as an extraction agent, and then just out of leaf according to Rick Baer's recipe.
Right, greenies.
And so those work really well for a lot of patients.
Yeah, they can find the
get 'em high,
recipe on
too.
our website,
Yeah.
ornorml.org. You can find the recipe listed in one of the forums. I believe it's about cooking, or you go there and you'll find it, I'm sure. It's on there. Anna, one of our directors, Anna Diaz, has actually put it up there for us. She shortened Dr. Rick Baer's to a page. So that's exciting.
That's good.
Yeah, check it out.
We've give out that to every single patient through the clinic, plus a recipe to make oil and butter and make flour or pixie dust. So.
Exactly. I just want to let everybody know that we'd like you to come out tomorrow to the 10th Global Cannabis March, Pioneer Courthouse Square. We're going to be loading in at 8, so we'll be ready for you at 10 a.m. to start our show. We'll have speakers and bands. Human and the Human Revolution are going to be, or they're actually going to be there, but they're going to be at Chaos tonight at 26th and Powell. They'll be there till midnight, so you can go enjoy their great music.
And Chief Greenbud.
Chief Greenbud will be at the march, but
not at the Chaos.
No, not at Chaos. We're keeping him with us tonight.
We'll have him play another song on the X.
Exactly, exactly.
But the march is tomorrow. The event starts at 10 a.m.
Exactly.
But the march is at high noon. Exactly.
High noon, and we need you to be there before it. So come around 11:30, and let's get out there and let's show the city of Portland how many of us there are and how we feel about medical marijuana, industrial hemp, and taxing and regulating for the use of all adults. We need to end this war on Americans. But and another thing I want to say to all of you,
there's an excerpt from the march last year, and there's Ma the Magic Dragon.
Thank you guys for getting it up there. Isn't that great? It's very
so last
exciting.
year we had about 750 people. I'm hoping this year we'll break 1,000.
Yeah, according to the state police. That's how many people we have, because and it's important that we all be out there. I'm hoping that we can break 1,000 this time around.
Right.
So
they're going to be meeting at the Pioneer Courthouse Square. If you're not, we'll leave at noon. So you've got to be there before that. Then afterwards, we'll have music, speakers, vendors, and more information.
Yes, we're going to have quite a few bands.
And that'll be through, 5 in the afternoon?
Yeah, till about 5:30. We're going to start breaking down, and we're just going to have a lovely time. Come out there. I also wanted to announce to everybody tonight that I had a conversation, down in Eugene. Their mayor proclaimed Marijuana Week.
Marijuana Month.
Well, I thought
Marijuana Awareness Month, right?
Awareness.
She made it a week long.
She made it a week long, but I asked Mayor Sam Adams. A lot of us, wrote to him when we heard about that. Anna again wrote to him and asked him for an opportunity to do this, and then I followed up with a phone call and an email, and they said they would think about it, and then they initially said no, and then they called me back and sent me an email telling me that he would be pleased to proclaim May Medical Marijuana Awareness Month. So I am so thrilled, and we'll be getting that announcement pretty soon. And
that's exciting.
It is very exciting, and I think you should call Mayor Adams and thank him for doing that, because each time one of our politicians takes care of us, we really need to thank them, because they hear from us when we don't agree with them, but when they do something positive, let's all thank them.
I agree. So here are the Chief Greenbud's CDs. You can get those at chiefgreenbud.com. We'll have some more songs here in a minute. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi there.
Hi.
My name is James Stolfa, and I grew up in the mountains in Northern California. And I'm very interested. I live in the Troutdale area. Very interested in your guys' program.
Well,
I
thank
think you run a great organization. Several friends of mine are in your normal organization and whatnot, and I was at your hemp stock last year. I was kind of curious. I'd been actually saying some stuff a while back down in California where I grew up at, that they should legalize and tax. And I was really concerned to hear about the statewide garden. Unfortunately, I'm not up to speed on the legislation on that. Now, is that going to just basically do away with all personal growers?
Well, you know, the current proposal, which it hasn't made it out of committee yet, right?
No, actually, we're going to be talking about it in May at the legislature. They're having some work groups and hearings, and everybody needs to start writing those letters to the representatives that are sponsors of this. It's very concerning to us, and as I said, there's Democrats that are involved, and we need to let them hear our voices and say, you cannot trample on my right to have my own medicine. As I put it to them, if I were raising organic chickens, would I have to be forced to go to Safeway or any of the other markets, wouldn't go and buy a piece of chicken that is full of chemicals? I don't think it's appropriate, and I don't think they should trample on my rights to grow the strains that work most effectively for me.
Now, there has been some positive progress. We had been fighting, was it Senate Bill 388?
388,
and so,
2881, there were so many policies.
But for now, we're down to just this last one. 388 died a quiet death this past week.
Yay!
So
well,
that's a big deal.
One of the most worrisome bills we had out there.
Now, do you guys have the info on your website where and who to write, obviously, I'm sure?
Yeah, we're going to get that up pretty quick here. We just got all the names and stuff today. They had finally contacted. You know, I went there and I testified on March 18th about this bill and how it was very concerning to me. And what we ended up getting was the people from the Netherlands, the Dutch, who have really great standards for botanicals, as you know, Paul. And we used some of that when Melody Silverwolf, Alicia Williamson, and myself actually authored Senate Bill 767, which is where we proposed a state garden, of course never trampling the rights of individuals to have their own private gardens. But we wanted to focus on access for those that can't grow because they live in assisted housing, they're incapacitated due to their disabilities, or for a number of reasons. And when we proposed it, boy, the DEA went on their phone, they panicked, they said, no, we can't do it. OHSU, Alternative Gardens, just got frightened, and it was just
There's
awful.
been some big breakthroughs. Now they've already licensed gardens in New Mexico.
Exactly.
A couple of nonprofits have been licensed there to sell marijuana to patients. Rhode Island just passed a bill through one of their legislative houses to set up dispensaries, and that hasn't passed both houses and gone to the governor yet. But the legislature there has passed a bill very similar. But theirs doesn't stop patients from growing their own.
Right.
In New Mexico
there's
and in
an area where I grew
Rhode
up in
Island,
northern.
patients can still grow their own.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And that's the difference with this bill. There's a possibility of just striking the part about not allowing patients to grow their own.
Well, if we put enough pressure on them, that's how I think we could be most effective, is to contact these representatives and let them know that we fully support their idea and their ambitions, but we will not support it if in fact they try to trample our rights to grow our own medicine. So
now, there is an area where I grew up at in Northern California. Actually, my cousin's an Amador County sheriff. And he was telling me that there's sections of a mountain in the area that I grew up at that are actually basically selling plots of land to the dispensary growers and actually allowing contract dispensary growers to grow on one of the most beautiful mountains in upper Northern California.
I like that idea.
There's a lot of that going on. There's a big article in Atlantic Monthly a few months back that chronicled that in a particular slant, I think, that wasn't entirely positive, but also not too bad. And so there's a lot of things happening right now in the world of marijuana politics and just in political movements in general. And I'm hoping that after more than a generation of stagnation in cannabis policy and repression, we're going to see a move forward.
Well, I agree with you guys, and I hope so myself. Well, thank you for the information very much. I'll be looking to your website for who to write and to support the movement towards legalizing hemp.
We'll come out tomorrow, and that'll be the first step. We need to let them know that we're not playing now that they've proclaimed it Medical Marijuana Awareness Month. We need to thank Mayor Adams, and we need to move forward and let them know that we are productive members of this society, and we intend to continue smoking marijuana.
Absolutely. I'm sure you guys will see me down there. I'm very interested in becoming part of your volunteering for your events and part of your volunteer staff.
Well,
as
come
well.
introduce yourself to us. We'll be at we'll have the THC Foundation will have a booth there, as well as Oregon Normal, the Green Party, the Liberty Party. Ron Paul's going to be there as well. So we have some interesting players.
Well, thanks for your call.
Well, you betcha. You folks have a good day.
All right.
All right, have a good
You
evening.
too.
If you have a question or comment, give us a call at 503-288-4448. For all you Ustream viewers out there who are watching our show across the nation, you can call in too, as long as you're calling in as we're live streaming here for about the next 30 minutes at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. And we have a portal to all the THCF and CRRH websites. You can get to everything linked through hemp.org. That's HEMP.org.
That's ICO, huh?
ICO, well, it's THCF and CRRH, but ICO's our webmaster.
ICO's the
That's
webmaster.
for sure.
He does
So
an excellent job.
I started doing the first web pages on those sites, but I'm way beyond doing that these days.
Oh, yeah. You got your hands full with everything else you're doing.
Growing
our
he's doing
movement.
a great job.
He is
ICO's
doing
done a really great job in building up that website. And
Yeah,
continues to
ICO
develop
worked
it.
really hard to get Oregon Normal a road, and we
Right,
adopted a
and
road.
you're out there cleaning up that road with an Oregon Normal sign up now?
Yeah, well, no, we're waiting to get it up. We'll let everybody know when it is up. It's Highway 26, just that where it turns from Burnside into 26, and it's milepost 14 to 16.
All right.
So we're really excited about it. It's a lovely piece of road, and it goes to the mountain. What can we say? It's going to be very exciting.
It's a pretty place.
We're hoping to
right
get
there.
one out in Clackamas as well. That's
Great.
our next focus. Very
All right.
exciting.
If you have a question for us tonight, you can call us at 503-288-4448. You know, we have classes for medical card holders. If you have a medical marijuana permit, you're interested in a class on cultivating, we have beginning, intermediate, and advanced classes, and classes on making medicinal grade hashish and others. So you come in every Wednesday night at our Portland headquarters at 105 Southeast 18th Avenue at 5:30, and the classes start at 5:30 and run till about 7 or so. And medicine man Andrew Hangenrud, he helps teach those. And there you have it.
Exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's out there learning about how to get rid of those mites, and we keep on thinking we've got it, but dang, they come back. We'll
Mites
get
are a
it.
hard one once you got it. It takes the obsessive cleaning. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Yeah, I'm curious. I have a pretty fair amount of space, and I'm wondering what's the legal limit, or what would be advisable for how many licenses you would put as far as to grow on one property, dividing it up, obviously, amongst different growers.
Right now, caregivers are limited to, our growers are limited to 4 patients, right? 4
Right,
patients.
I understand that.
So then you can have 6 plants, so that would kind of be a limit of 24 budding plants. And
Right, I
another
understand
18 that are less than a foot tall and a foot wide.
Okay,
however, multiple caregivers can collaborate at a location. There's no real limit on that.
Okay. Well, what about multiple growers collaborating on a one address?
Once again, there's no real limit on that.
There is no real limit, but one of the things that we advise people, and this is just because our attorneys, who are normal legal committee attorneys, Paul Loney is our legal director,
Right.
and John Lucy works with us very closely, and they suggest that we can keep it under 96 plants, because whenever you go above that number,
100, then you potentially draw in a federal enhanced sentence.
exactly, and not only that, but you hit the radar. And so
Okay,
that's
and then-
one thing that's really important. And I believe Now, I've been on the advisory committee on medical marijuana. I did a 3-year term on it, and I believe that actually at DHS sometimes the radar goes up as well. Before, it used to be if you had more than 6 patients, and then they took it down to the 4, and so you just got to be careful with your plant numbers.
You know, there are several enhancements under federal law. Once you get over 99 plants, of course, there's an enhancement. There's another enhancement once you're above 49 plants. So if you want to run afoul of that one, you'd want to stay below 49 plants. There's another enhancement at 24 plants. So there are several different levels where the federal law becomes more stringent, and there's an increased penalty at each one of those steps.
Okay. And then just curiosity, not just to ask another question, is didn't we just have here a few weeks ago, or 6 weeks ago on television where Obama said that the federal government wasn't going to be funding any more raids on medical gardens?
Well, it was Eric Holder, the Attorney General, said that Obama's position during the campaign was now federal policy. And that meant that if people in the certain states that have medical marijuana were following that state's law, that they wouldn't try to prosecute them at the federal level. However, there's a real weakness in that the people who determine whether you're following state law are the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration agents. And if they decide that you aren't following state law, then they can come and arrest you and put you into the federal system, and then you can't argue whether you were following state law at all. So once the DEA makes their arbitrary decision that you aren't following state law, if they get you into the federal system, then there's no recourse to dispute that and to say, I was following state law, even if you were.
Okay. So in that, you're saying that if you were going to approach any of the lines, the 24, the 49, or the 99, you would make sure absolutely positively that you were absolutely, without any hesitation, within state guidelines.
Of course, yeah.
Always.
Okay.
And in last year, we stayed under the 50 plant mark, and this year we're going to stay under the 25 plant mark in our garden.
It's always a wise move. Plants. Always.
All right. Thank you, Paul, for your time, and have a great evening.
You're welcome. Thank you. If you have a question for us tonight, give us a call at 503-288-4448. That's 503-288-4448. I know a lot of people out there want to know what conditions qualify for medical marijuana. Magically, they popped up there on the screen. The largest one is chronic pain. I would say 60 to 70% of all the patients who have a medical marijuana permit have it for some chronic pain condition. There are a lot of different conditions that qualify for chronic pain. Got an email tonight. The lady asked, is ulcerative colitis covered? Well, specifically, ulcerative colitis is not mentioned in any state's medical marijuana law, but it's covered in every state under the chronic pain definition. Also, ulcerative colitis might cause muscle spasms and nausea. Those also are covered. Other spastic conditions like asthma and multiple sclerosis, Tourette's syndrome, all of those are spastic conditions that are covered by medical marijuana. Anything that causes severe and chronic nausea, whether it be IBS, Crohn's disease, also spastic conditions and painful conditions, then those are covered. The symptoms of hepatitis C, other gastrointestinal ailments like GERD or gastrointestinal reflux disease are covered, as is cancer, AIDS, glaucoma, and if you don't have those specific conditions and you receive a treatment such as a medication that causes spasms or nausea, that might also qualify for medical marijuana. So those are the conditions that qualify. If you're out there and you are wondering what might qualify or have any more questions, or you're looking for a doctor who can help you find medical marijuana, we have doctors all across the United States now waiting to help you. Just call us at our toll-free number. That's 1-800-723-0188. 1-800-723-0188.
And you know, our great volunteer Sylvia just reminded me that migraines.
Yeah, migraines.
Migraines do qualify. A lot of people ask that question.
And that's a chronic pain condition. I have a couple of antique migraine medicine bottles that are cannabis-based medicine. So Park Davis and Sharp and Dome were making migraine medicines from cannabis 100, 120 years ago. We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi. I'd like to talk about the efficiency of vaporizers vs. Let's say smoking a joint or in a pipe. Do you waste very much when you use a vaporizer?
Well, vaporizer doesn't really waste anything at all.
Oh.
And what isn't vaporized in a vaporizer is still in the cannabis itself and can be eaten later. And so if cannabis is thoroughly vaporized, it will still have between 5 and 25% of the THC still in the organic cannabis. You can't extract all of it through vaporization, but it's available for eating it orally at that point. And also, there's still CBD in the cannabis, and that's probably the most useful medicine in cannabis. It's the compound that takes care of pain, spasms, seizures, neurodegenerative diseases, gastrointestinal ailments, and glaucoma.
Oh, I see. So what vaporizer would you suggest is the best?
You know, there's a lot of them out there and new ones every day.
Oh.
I've been using a Volcano vaporizer for more than 6 years now. I really like it, but I don't want to diss any of the new ones out there. There are a bunch of them that work and work pretty well. The best vaporizer is the one that you use. You know, the one that you decide you're not going to smoke anymore and you're going to vaporize. I can tell you that as a 30-plus year smoker, I had a chronic cough and bronchitis, and within 3 weeks of switching to my Volcano vaporizer, that cough went away. And so when you vaporize marijuana, everything you inhale is the medicine. It's either THC, which is 96% of it, CBD, which is 2%, or it's an aromatic hydrocarbon. And when you smoke, only about 10% of what you're inhaling is the medicine. And all of that is from the vaporization that takes place before burning. Once the burning takes place, the medicine's destroyed, and you're just going to get combustion byproducts.
Oh, that's interesting. Now, what criteria should I use if I want to buy a vaporizer?
I recommend those that have forced air. Forced air? Yeah, that force hot, preheated air through the cannabis. Okay. You can do that with a heat gun, and a lot of different models use water pipes and heat guns. Heat guns, though, can go too high. Heat guns generally go up to 1,100 degrees. You want it to be at about 360 degrees and not over 450, because combustion happens at 450. I've seen people get vaporizer units and they still smoke through it. They just turn the heat gun up high enough to incinerate the cannabis, not just vaporize it. But you've got to keep it down below about 435 degrees Fahrenheit, or about 200 degrees centigrade or Celsius. And the Volcano vaporizer won't go above those temperatures, and so you can't burn it with the Volcano itself.
Okay. Now, is the Volcano a heat gun?
No, it's got an internal heater and air pump.
Air pump.
It's easier to use, I think, and more efficient.
Okay.
But I'm biased since I do use that.
Yeah. But now the heat guns, do those have? They wouldn't have asbestos in them. What kind of an element? Is there any reason why you shouldn't?
Some of them might have unhealthy components. I know the ones made by Steinel use a ceramic coated heating element, and are guaranteed to be free from harmful byproducts. So Steinel heat guns are made in Germany, and they are also encased by Sears Craftsman and Makita. So both of those are Steinels with a different plastic cover on the outside.
Can you spell Steinel for me?
Steinel is S-T-E-I-N-E-L.
S-T-I...
And some of the S-T-E-I-N-E-L, I believe.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
But they're made in Germany, and you can get the high-end Sears Craftsman is also a Steinel, and it's just got a Sears Craftsman case on it. You want the ones that have the fine-tuning, what do they call those things?
Temperature.
Control.
Yeah, the temperature setting. So you can set it to the exact point you want, which again is at about 360 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, okay. Okay, you mean that it actually has a gauge on it that would tell you? Was that?
Yeah, some of the Steinels have a digital temperature readout. Others have a gauge.
Okay. Well, I thank you very much.
You're welcome. Good luck.
Bye.
Yep, thanks for calling.
Well, I was going to say the best one is the one that you've got or is affordable for you.
Yeah.
Because they're not always affordable.
Yeah, the Volcano is about $500 wholesale.
Right.
However, if you're buying an ounce of pot, it makes your pot go 3 times farther. It's paid for itself in a couple of ounces.
Well, yes, and
your lungs are worth it.
Yes, and it's so efficient because you can reuse what you've the spent mass and put it in capsules and use this for capsules.
That's right.
That's
so
really
after
exciting.
you've vaporized about twice or 3 times as much as you would get through smoking out of it, then you can still eat it or put it in capsules. And also, we should mention that there's the Pink Elephant vaporizer that a couple of our volunteers here have been making with a heat gun. And how do they find that out on the internet? Is there a place that's out on the internet?
They can contact the clinic.
Yeah, they can contact the clinic at that toll-free number, 1-800-723-0188. If you're interested in the Pink Elephant, hopefully they'll get through.
Just an alternative.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a
An
good
affordable
alternative.
Alternative, really.
So we've got the big march coming up tomorrow. It's
Yes.
May 2nd.
Yes, it is, May 2nd, and we'd appreciate it if you get there at 11:30 because we do march at high noon. We'd like you to bring everybody except the dogs, the drugs, and the alcohol. Please, the dogs leave presents. We don't want them. The city frowns on it. So if you'll come out there, we love dogs. I've got 4 myself, but we just don't like to step in it when we're marching. So if you would come out there and participate with us. You know, you don't have to be a cannabis consumer. If you believe in personal privacy, I support my gay brothers and sisters' right to choose what they want to do as long as small children and animals are not harmed. Please, let's not get into each other's lives, but come and support personal privacy and freedom for all of us. It's important.
So we have also our Hemp Stock Festivals coming up. That's going to be September 12th and 13th. That's going to be our 5th annual Hemp Stock Festival. And on May 30th, Saturday, May 30th, at one of our favorite places, the Village Ballroom at 700 Northeast Deacom, we will have a benefit dinner, a Las Vegas-style buffet with musical accompaniment. Just come down to 700 Northeast Deacom on Saturday night, May 30th, and we'll be talking more about that event as we get closer to it. And it'll be pretty reasonable. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello.
Hello there.
Howdy.
Hey, hi there. I'm watching you, and I just happened to be flipping through the channels, and I was listening to what you were talking about here. And first of all, I'm a supporter of the right to privacy. I think that's very important, and it's guaranteed by our constitutional amendment or our Constitution. So I think that's a good thing, and I do think people should support that. On the cannabis thing here, it's always been an interesting topic and certainly debated across all different lines with all different kinds of attitudes. But I think when there's a medical benefit to it, I have to think that that's probably a very good thing. And I don't know what your situation is because I came in the middle of the show. But one of the things you were talking about that I picked up on was the benefit of, I don't know what that stuff is in it that you were talking about.
Well, there's a few different medicinal compounds in cannabis. The one that gets everybody high is THC, or tetrahydrocannabinol. And that's good for nausea as an appetite stimulant. It's also good for some psychological conditions. There's another compound in cannabis called CBD, or cannabidiol, and that's good for pain, spasms, seizures, neurodegenerative diseases, and gastrointestinal ailments.
Talking about when you smoke the marijuana over an extended period of time, it appears to greatly boost a young man's risk of developing a particular aggressive form of testicular cancer, they've noticed. So I think that what you're talking about and how you use it, definitely you don't want to counter benefit the benefits of it, so it would probably be better to do it the way that you're doing it with this, heating it up, how you do that.
Yeah, we don't burn it, but we recommend vaporization. And also taking cannabis orally.
Is bogus.
Yeah,
she's bogus on what her statement. That's a bogus statement. I'm sorry, ma'am, but you're absolutely wrong on that statement about increased levels of testosterone.
But there was a story, a rare story out there that...
I can send you the link. It's under healthfinder.gov.
That's cool.
That tells you
its source right there.
From one of those scare tactics that the federal government uses.
Yes.
Just like they've done for so many years.
There are a lot of other studies out there that shows that cannabis and THC and CBD stop the progression of cancer and selectively kill cancer cells. And so there are about a dozen studies that show that. But, you know, the one about a possible, not something that's been substantiated by numerous studies, but a possible link to increased testicular cancer has yet to be fully certified. And a lot of studies show that cannabis is just the opposite. It's an anti-tumoral effect for breast cancer, prostate cancer, brain cancer, lung cancer, and other types of cancer.
Well, it's actually been found to shrink some cancer tumors in lab rats in Israel. Right. I just spoke with Philippe Lucas at the last hemp stock, and he had just flown in from Israel and was telling us about the amazing things that they're discovering now that they can use.
He's going to be here next week. So
yes, he is. I'm excited.
He's not going to
about
quite
that.
make it in time for the show, though.
I know. Darn it. But, yeah, you should really do more. The federal government is out there just handing out misinformation about medical marijuana in general. And, you know, they say that we're lethargic and we're losers, and we're not. We are probably the busiest people you'll ever find. So when you read it on .gov, you can just forget about that and do some further research on the matter, because it doesn't hold water.
You know, a lot of studies that come out like that, one on testicular cancer links, are not peer-reviewed. They're a one-time supposition that's been published with no statistically significant sample size. We have another caller, though. Hello, caller. You're on the show. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, there they are.
Can you hear me?
Yep. We can hear you.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't hear you.
Oh.
How you guys doing?
We're great.
Good. I guess my question would be, well, I understand there's definitely a medicinal benefit to marijuana. Nobody's debating that. Well, I'm not debating that. Mm-hmm. But is there a way for cannabis to be regulated more like alcohol? Is that possible?
There is a way, and we've had a proposal to do just that. At first, we tied it directly to the state liquor control system. We found in our polling that was very unpopular and was going to lose. And so we withdrew the proposal to tax and regulate it in conjunction with the liquor system. We've developed another system that would be separate from alcohol regulation, and we're going to move forward with that for 2010, for a vote then in 2010.
So do you know how that's going to be presented? Like, how is it going to be its own separate system from, like, sort of like the OLCC, but for cannabis
Exactly.
only?
A separate system where it's regulated separately, has a separate board, and isn't sold in places where alcohol is consumed.
Right, because obviously that's not usually a good combination anyway. So.
Right, yeah. With strict oversights for quality control and fee control, so that we are using a good, high-quality medicine or marijuana that's being sold to us. And, you know, the best part of it is that we always remember that drug dealers aren't asking for ID, and, you know, they're selling marijuana at high schools.
Right.
And I think we need to work on that. So that's really exciting and important.
You know, I've been to the Netherlands, and it's very different there, and I've always wished that it could be like that here. Just, you know, they're very much, you know, against, you know, selling to minors. They're not for mixing with alcohol. There's huge signs, no hard drugs. You know, it's its own thing. And, you know, I just wish it could be like that here. So, you know, when you guys get that going, you know, I fully support it. I'm, you know, definitely supportive of any medical, you know, things that you guys put forward or anyone else. So, you know, I think you guys are doing a great job. And thank you for pointing out how bogus the testicular study was. Because I saw that when it came out in the news, and I knew that was bogus right away, just the way they presented it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, keep up the good work with everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Come and join us for the march tomorrow. Yep, we're going to invite everybody that we can possibly reach.
The more of us that come out, the stronger our movement becomes. The more support we can demonstrate, the more seriously ending adult cannabis prohibition will be taken.
The more quickly.
So come out and show us the breadth and strength of our cannabis community here in Portland, Oregon tomorrow. And, you know, if you're watching from outside of Portland, like we had the fellow in Denver, there's going to be a global marijuana march in Denver, too. There's a global marijuana march in, 250 different cities across the world?
300.
Yeah, over
where's
300
Russ?
cities this year. It continues to
260?
grow. There's one in Eugene, as you were talking.
260
260
cities around the globe. That's what's so exciting.
So check out, there's marches everywhere tomorrow. So wherever you're watching from, you can join the movement too.
They're having one in Eugene and Salem.
Seattle?
Yeah, Seattle.
Yes.
Everywhere. Just go find one.
Denver.
And participate.
We have another caller. Hello, caller. You're on the show.
Hi, guys. How are you doing tonight?
Very well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Using my own volcano right now, actually.
Oh,
all right.
And
I got about 10 minutes before I can use mine.
Yeah.
There you go. I gotta say that there's no other way other than vaporization. You just don't even realize the cannabis that you're missing until you try it.
Yeah, and after vaporizing for a number of years, when I smoke, I taste the ashes. I don't really taste the cannabis. I used to be a connoisseur smoker. I could taste all the different flavors from the smoke, but after not smoking for years and just vaporizing, the vaporizer taste and flavor is far superior.
Well, I started out with a glass tube that was a bong stem. I shoved the screen down it, and I used a heat gun. And I just got it close enough, because like you said, you get too close and it will ignite.
Yeah.
But you get that right distance, and it starts that vaporization. And I was sold from the first fruity taste from that point forward, and then saved up for my volcano. But definitely advise that. And I lost my smoker's cough probably about like what you said, within a few weeks.
Right. Well, that's something I didn't mind losing at all.
And I just had one other note for the evening. You guys were talking about the 420 and the time and Hitler's birthday and all that, and I've been pushing for a new time, which I think we should double down on the 420 and do 840.
840.
Because that gives you enough time in the morning and enough time in the evening.
Yeah, good idea.
Hey, great idea. I like that too.
All right, well, you guys have a good evening, and we'll push 840.
I like the double down.
Suggestion.
Yeah, well, that was, we just, I guess he's been celebrating 840 here. There's no doubt. That was 12 minutes ago, and we're down to just about 7 minutes to go. So we can't take many more callers, but if you're lucky, you might get through at 503-288-4448. That's
I hear the phones ringing.
The one to call in at 503-288-4448. And then, we just have one phone answerer in there, so we can't answer that many questions.
Well, our volunteers do a great job.
Yeah, you see the 2 or 3 of us up here in front of the camera. Well, there's 4 times that many behind the camera, the people behind the camera and in the control room. So we gotta.
And then after they leave here, they go to the next thing, and then on to the normal meeting. So
the normal meeting and the march tomorrow, and the hemp stock preparation meeting, and the card holder meetings, and then of course the clinics where we're helping hundreds of people every week all across the nation. We have another caller now. Hello, caller, you're on the show. Oh, they got cold feet.
Hello?
Oh, no, hello.
Hey, there you are.
Hi, I was calling about how you can deal with your insurance company, because I have diabetes, and then I have several things wrong with my back. And in order to get pain medication through my insurance company, I had to sign a drug contract that says that I will not seek marijuana treatment, and I'm also random up for random
if you're on a pain contract, they make you go through urine testing to make sure you're meeting your contractual obligation.
Correct. I'm worried about all the drugs they're giving me. I don't trust. We have no FDA. I mean,
sure.
It's ridiculous.
Well, they've got you hooked. You're addicted to some of their drugs, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And for you to go cold turkey on those would be maybe lethal in some cases.
Well, I'm thinking that they're harder on my system than this natural remedy would be. And so to step off the cliff without my insurance, because I'm assuming insurance will not cover any doctor that you try to go to for this. How much out of pocket?
I think the thing to do would be to contact your insurance company and ask them, what other pain clinics could you look into? And then to contact those pain clinics and say, I want to get off these other drugs, but I don't want to go cold turkey overnight. I want to be weaned off them, so to not have to go through the worst part of the withdrawals. And then ask them which ones will help you get medical marijuana. And maybe you'll find one that way without upsetting your contract.
Right.
What was your other question, though?
If I step off and go away from my insurance and I do an out-of-pocket to get it, go see a doctor out-of-pocket and to get a card, how much money is that out-of-pocket about?
It's about $300 per year. If you're low income, it's less.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot for your help and great show. And good luck on your march tomorrow.
Thanks. You'll come out and join us.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Yeah, if you want to come out to the march, please do. It's there at Pioneer Courthouse Square. We're going to start marching at noon. It's about a mile march.
It is.
Down around downtown Portland. It's lovely with police escort.
Right, and we're going to pass through Cinco de Mayo. We'll be on Nato Parkway. So come out and support us because it's really important that we all be heard.
Yep. And that's about all the time we've got for tonight. Is there anything you'd like to say in closing, Madeline?
Well, I just want to encourage everyone to come out there and be watching for the proclamation for the city of Portland from Mayor Sam Adams. Let's go to it. Let's go out there and thank him for it. Medical Marijuana Awareness Month is May.
Yeah.
In the city of Portland. I think it's a great feat.
I want to thank all you folks for watching. Just tune in next week. We'll have another exciting edition of Cannabis Common Sense. We'll go out on the music of Mr. Tim Pate. Thanks for watching. Help us restore hemp. Good night.
See you next week, folks.